Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel Mainframe Girls. In the previous videos, I have explained two different mainframe utilities, IEBCOPY and IEBCOPY. And in this video, I'll be explaining you IEBGenner. Not all the uses of IEBGenner, but some of the main uses of IEBGenner normally which we use on daily console. Okay, so the main uses of IEBGenner are creating with IB. I have told you with IBR14 we can create a data set. IEBCOPY we can create a data set. In the same way we can create a data set with IBGenner, and we can copy that data set. In the like if we are doing creating and copying, which is we can call a single name called. We can take backup of a PS file, and we can do a printing of data set. If you know exactly the sysout device, if you know exact the sysout device where it can be printed, if it's asterisk or if it's A, if it's B, the terminal, if you know the exact terminal where the data set has to be printed, the sysout terminal, then you can do the printing of data set. Copying a PDS member, as I told you, IEBCOPY, with using an IEBCOPY, all the PDS functions can be happened. But with IEBGNR also we can copy a single member of a PDS, like as it is a single member is a type of a PS file, right? So we can copy a single PDS member to a different normal PS file, a flat file. We can do a data conversion. Suppose if your file is a variable block file, we can convert your variable block file to a fixed block file. So we can do this conversion, and dataset concatenation can be happen. Means if there are more PS files, you can merge 2 to 3 or more than 3 to 4 PS files into a single file depending on the space allocation of this all the files. And there's another thing which we can do is we can edit output files while after means before sending the data which comes in data conversion. So if you are sending an input data set to an output data set, so if suppose think that your input data is having some lines or some basic employee information or some data about some product or anything, if you want, when it getting copied to an output data set, if you want to make some particular changes before copying, you can do that changes using an IEBGenner. I'll show you some of the examples of some of in the video, like some JCLs, how that process is. Okay, here you'll be creating a backup copy. So normally for creating a backup copy, you can use a data set which is already created, or you can create a data set and do the copy. So here this is the data, like source data, which I am copying this data set into this data. So normally I am taking a backup of a flat file, a normal PS file. So I am creating a creation can be happen here, and the copying can be happen. So these two steps, and make sure that you are giving a proper attributes of space depending on whatever the data is being copied. Okay, using IBGNR, you can print the output wherever you want. So when, as I told you, this UT1 is the source data set, means the data set which you want to transfer. And this in this UT to DD statement, you are giving the location where your data set has to be gone. So when you have given this UT equals to star, there are some ways. If when you have given this, your data set will be printed in a spool in this print. Okay, and if you have given an option A here, if you are given sysut equals to A, it can be printed. If that is pre-allocated to a printer device, if it is allocated to a printer device, your datasets data will be copied, means printed in a printer device. You can directly go to a printer and take out your papers on as a hard copy. If suppose if your some devices, these are all predefined sysout definitions. Somewhere T will be there. If you are defining sysout equals to T, it says that you want your data set, you want your data to be presented on the terminal. Means when the job completes, your all the data will be presented on the terminal. Means you can see the data by giving a control or enter button. And some people need that in a particular data set. Then you will give sysout equals to one of your own data set. Then the data in this will be copied to that sysout output, like that. Okay. So normally when you think of a PDS, you feel that the PDS operations are mostly done by IEBCOPY. But what about the member? If you want only members to be copied, normally if you use an IEBCOPY utility here, you can copy a whole data set here. This whole PDS member will be copied to this member, and you have to use include and exclude statements to include that particular data set and exclude this particular member. So if you want only this member to be copied and if you want to exclude some, you can do an IB copy, but you have to add more statements, control statements in system. But if you use IEBGNR here, what if you want only program 1 to be copied to program 2 in this file, in this data set, then you can directly use this. So you can directly copy PRGM1 to PRGM2 by using IBGNR. So this is like just copying or taking backup of a particular member of one PDS member in another PDS member. Or you can I have here used an old, this old, but you can do a new and you can create a new member and you can copy that member to this. Means you can take a member copy also, backup of a particular member also, not only data flat file level, but you can take a backup of member level also. As I told you, we can do a reformatting of data. Okay, what is this reformatting? By using IBGNR, so this is the input file. Okay, this is the input file. This input file is having the data, some employee information data. Something that data is 32 lines of data. Okay, 32 lines of rows. Okay, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. First is serial number, employee name, employee ID, employee salary, everything is mentioned in 32 columns, including spaces. Okay, so what I'm doing is, when it is getting copied to this file, here I'm using, in every file I'm using an old, but there's no need of using old here. You can create a new file here by taking a disk, new space attributes and everything. You can create a new data set here. While I want here, whatever the employee data is there, when it is getting copied to the output, I want an attribute like a literal called salary to be included in between. Okay, so I want a word called salary to be included in between. So what will I do? I can, if I copy directly without using this statements, the whole data will be copied as it is. But I want a letter like with after name, serial number, after department, I want a word called salary to be involved. Then I want salary, the salary numbers over here. So what I'll do, I'll use these two statements. I have first thing, give asterisk here, not dummy, because we are using some commands here. So generate, what will generate do? In generate, you will be having four parameters. One is max fields, max literals. Now we are using here two parameters in that. Max fields means in record how many field parameters you can use. Okay, when I have given 11 here, it means I can use completely 11 field parameters here. What is max literals? Literals means 10, means maximum of 10 literals I can use. Literals means this words. Okay, here I have used 6 literals. Like that I can use maximum of 10 literals in this record parameter. Okay, next it comes to the record parameter. What is record parameter? Here I have to give exactly, these are all rows. Okay, at what row it will start, the first row, where it is, this is the first row. Okay, this is the output, this is an output data set and this is an input data set. Okay, if you want any literals to be added, literal information and conversions need to be done, it will be added here. Okay, so basically what my file is doing here is, whatever my question is doing here is, I am saying copy all the 23 fields as it is. Means first 23, means from here to here, whatever is there, just copy directly in the output. From which location? From one location in the input file. In the same way, one location to the output file. It's done here. The first 23 are done. So after this, I want this literals to be added there. So what I'll do is length of the literal. So the first one is length. Okay. So 6 is the length of the salary. So I'm saying I want this 6 to be added here. Okay. 6 to be added in the output location. Which location? Till 23 it is getting copied. So from 24 I want the salary to be added. So I'll say in the output location add this salary. Okay. Salary literal. So the salary literal will be added here. Okay. The next it says, next I'm saying, so next length, whatever next is, the salary length is 4 lengths. Okay. 4 letters length. Okay, the next one. So I'm saying the length of 4 letters after salary from 24 to 32. So I want whatever is there next, that is there in input location in 24. In output, I want that to be pasted at 32 because this 6 letters is pasted, right? The 6 letters is, and I need some spaces after that. So the 6 letters and 2 spaces. So with this 2 spaces, it will be 8 letters. So I want 8 spaces. So what I say is, after 24, I want my data to be pasted at 32. If you want to learn more about record and generate parameters properly, just let me know in the comment section so that I'll explain you what generate and record exactly will do by showing an output, and I'll run a practical job and I'll show you how it runs properly. So for this particular information, so this is how we change the information from input to output when copying using an IBGNR. Data concatenation, it is same like how we did in IBCOPY. It is same like in IBCOPY we did a data concatenation of members. We copied 2 or 3 members in one thing, one PDS file. In the same way here we are doing for a PS file. So we are copying 2 PS files into a single PS file. The only constraint here is you have to make sure that the space parameters, so whatever the data is there in this should occupy the space in this data set. That's it. So this is data conversion. As I've told you, here we can convert with IBGNR, we can convert fixed block to variable block to fixed block, by creating a new data set while copying from the old data set. Like basically think here, this is the data I'm having. This is a source data set which I'm having, and it is in variable format. Okay, variable block with 133 blocks. Okay, and I want this data to be a fixed block data. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a new data set saying that in sysut1. Okay, sysut1, it's the input data set. Sysut2, I'm taking an output data set, creating a new data set with new catalog delete with 300,20, and I've taken unit. I'm saying record format is fixed block, and I'm saying 129 is the record length. Okay, so 129 is the record length. So what I say in this generate and record field is, so as I told you, I need only field parameter. So I am saying max fields equals to 1. So record field, what I'm saying, so when it is getting copied from here to there, whatever the data is getting copied. So 129, I'm saying this variable block is 133, right? So 133. So how much I have taken record length here as 129. So I want the input location, I want all the 129 lines in the input file to be copied from input location 1 to the output location 1. So all the data from 1 in the input location 1 to output location 1 will be copied as it is. Okay. So that is what I'm doing, copying from here to there. But why 129? If you have this doubt, why 129? If you remember, while explaining a variable block, I have told a word called bytes. Okay, there will be a record byte written in the starting of the block. So when you are considered about a variable block, the first four bytes will be used for the record bytes. Okay, record and the block bytes will be written here. Okay, so after that only the data will be copied. So that is the reason you are taking 129. If suppose your variable block is some 150, reduce the 4 of that, remove 4 of the first bytes. From there only the data will start. Okay, the first 4 is dedicated to that record byte. Okay, then the next data is used for the data. The exact data will be present after leaving the first 4. So you say that, oh, I need all the 129 information, that 129 lines of data is there from the first location of the input data set to the first location of the output data set. Please get copied. So with this record and generate statement, I am doing that. So it will be normal. It is a normal copy, but while doing a copy, we are creating a fixed block data set and we are copying it from a variable block to a fixed block. So in this manner, we are just changing our data set format also. So if you want to know more about IBGNR, or if you want to get the hands-on practicals and you want the outputs to be displayed, please let us know in the comment section and we'll make a practical sessions to be done. And if you want any other utilities to be explained in depth, please let us know, and we'll be making more utilities videos in the upcoming sessions.